The sources describe how search assistance, query suggestions, has moved way beyond simple auto-completion.
Oh, yeah. The foundation of recommendations used to be something called the query flow graph, or QFG.
And that just modeled search sessions.
Yes, the nodes in the graph were queries and the edges were transitions. So query A often leads to query B, and the edges were weighted by relative frequency. Recommendations were just generated by simple statistical proximity.
But that's still focused on strings. Which queries follow which other queries? The real intelligence comes from integrating the structural knowledge of the KB.
Which leads to the entity query graph, or EQ graph. This is the superior model.
How does it work?
It extends the QFG by linking the actual entities, the nodes, from the knowledge base to the queries that mention them. So you have this dual linkage in query nodes connected to entity nodes.
And that allows the system to generate recommendations that are semantically coherent, not just statistically likely.
That's the key. So instead of recommending query C just because users often searched for it after query B, the EQ graph can recommend entity Z.
Because it's highly related in the graph to the entity mentioned in query B.
Exactly. Regardless of whether anyone has actually searched for entity Z before in that sequence. If you're searching for a specific type of historic aircraft, the EQ graph can recommend related aircraft or the person who piloted it based on their close connections in the knowledge graph, even if the search history doesn't explicitly contain that search path. It allows for true, guided, topical exploration.